The West African Examination Council has outlined specific steps in dealing with the perennial exam leakages across the country. According to the Public Affairs Director of WAEC, Agnes Tekujo, candidates at the center would have different set of questions plus introduction of barcodes on the question papers, which will make it easier for the council to trace the source of the leakage. This comes on the back of the 2021 EDUWATCH WASSCE monitoring report, which revealed that over 11 papers leaked, with the council of being involved in those leakages. Now, speaking to Joy News, Agnes Tekujo, in rejecting the claims, also questioned the credibility of the report, arguing that 3 schools captured in the report did not participate in the WASSCE.
We have stated that some of the papers, for example, he spoke about physics 2 and 1. The council addressed that when we rescheduled the paper, because we noted that there was a compromise. And I think, as our lawyer said, you know, determination of leakage is a question of facts. No, in our own assessment, 5 papers did not leak.
So how many leaked from your own assessment?
In our assessments, we will not say a paper leaked, because if we say extras of a paper, doesn't mean that the paper leaked. You understand me? Yes. So that is why we have not put numbers to the papers that we have. That he says he has put numbers, but we have not put any numbers, figures, or any percentage, because we take each paper on its own merit. Well, when we speak about serialization, we want to say that we can have tests in different formats for everybody, so that maybe if we are sitting together in the same examination hall, the tests that you are doing will be different from mine. You know, there'll be a mix of that. Yeah. When we speak about what do you call it? So serializations basically is different versions of the test. Then when we speak about digital variable data printing, it means that we are going to personalize the question papers, you know, and then we are going to put in barcodes so that your question paper comes to you with your name, with a barcode, so that when that paper goes out, or, you know, sometimes we see snapshots of question papers on social media, we'll be able to tell at a particular moment that snapshot that we have, it belongs to candidate A or candidate B. So all these are things that we'll have to put into place to be able to ensure the integrity of the examination.
And setting these measures would indeed protect the sanctity and integrity of our exam.
We'll also need retooling of the council, because definitely we have to go into a lot of digitization, a lot of automation, to make sure that these things really happen. And I think that once we do that, and then eventually we may have to get to a place whereby, you know, candidates, we may not even have to conduct a paper and pencil kind of test.
Doing an e-test. I mean,
yes. So these are all things that we need to look at going into the future.
So is something you're considering?
Yes. As I said, these are all processes, you understand, because then it also has to come with resources to ensure that if you are administering the examination for somebody here in Accra, the same facilities exist for somebody also in a remote part of the country.
But Africa Education Watch stands by its report. Executive Director Kofi Asare says the 2 schools cited by WAEC appears in error, whilst 1 has been misconstrued. He spoke on the pause.
I want to indicate that if you read our methodology, we indicated that we selected the schools purposely. And one of the reasons was that the purposive selection was based on a history or tip-offs we received from last year's WASSCE, and then our ability to enter the schools. So in the case of Insania, yes, they were in our sample frame. But after the sampling and then the first reconnaissance visit, we got to know that the school had collapsed after the COVID. And then it was replaced with, I think it was a PAM. It was replaced with a PAM. And then in the case of the other one they mentioned, Beposo Muslim in Setre Central, the school's name repeated twice. It came first as Beposo Muslim School, and then it came second as Ghana Muslim. Ghana Muslim Senior, the same school. It came twice in the appendix of the reports. Okay, but the original school we monitored was Chufupraso, so it was a typo. It was a repetition of one school's name twice, but in different forms. First at Beposo Muslim Senior High, and second Ghana Muslim Senior High. It's the same school. So this is in the appendix. These are two issues in the appendix that we saw. In the case of the Kekam Technical, we agree that they did not write to us. They are not a WASSCE school. They are a technical institute in the Elemele district. But that is where we verified and monitored to receive the finding that NAPTEX, Social Studies and English actually did leak. We indicated in our report that we also realized that NAPTEX leaked and that Social Studies and English for NAPTEX was leaked in schools. I mean, on social media platforms. We're able to confirm that because we're monitoring from a school, obviously, a school that was writing NAPTEX. And Kekam Technical is a school that wrote NAPTEX. Kekam Technical is located in the Elemele district.
The minority in Parliament has filed a private member's motion calling on the House to set up a bipartisan committee to probe alleged irregularities and leakages of exams conducted by the West African Examination Council in the last 10 years. According to sponsors of the bill, the situation, if not checked, will make WAEC-issued certificates lose their value in the country and also globally. They also argue that WAEC, the Ghana Education Service, the Education Ministry, and police lack the credibility to probe the issues, alleging their involvement in the perennial leakages. The sponsors of the motion also argue that it's important for Parliament to establish the source of the leakages or break the monopoly of WAEC as part of efforts to safeguard the integrity of the exam. Deputy Ranking on the Education Committee, Dr. Clement Apak, is one of the sponsors.
The level of leakages, malpractices, had reached a stage where if action were not to be taken, we would be gravitating to a level where WAEC-issued certificates would lose their value, not only in Ghana, but globally. We are taught that the Ministry of Education and government and WAEC would have acted upon the 2020 assessment report put out by African Education Watch. Nothing happened.
But some invigilators have been interdicted. The police is also probing some of the issues raised by African Education Watch. Isn't that enough for you?
For how long? For how long? 2021.
But you saw this
2020, how many people have been prosecuted? You are a journalist. How many people are standing trial? And you see, let's not beat about the bush to look at those at the bottom of the totem pole or the bottom of the ladder. If you have seen the African Education Watch report 2020 and 2021, the different layers that account for leakages, those involved, are above and beyond what we are hearing. We are talking about leakages occurring even before the exam papers move from WAEC's own strong room. How do you explain that? WAEC is not capable of conducting any serious investigation because WAEC itself is complicit. The police and the CID will do their best, but the police is not entirely independent because there is usually police personnel who form part of the team to move the papers and to secure them. GES and the ministry is not entirely neutral because they also have representation. And that is why it ought to be a bipartisan committee of Parliament to sit. And you see, we don't want to be seen as being partisan or petty. And that is why we have given a wide range from 2011 to 2012. Yes, because it has been happening. So what we need to do is to look at the causal factors over time.